Over the years, radicalism and this whole issue of being radical in our faith has become a buzzword. There are seminars springing up everywhere, and people are making all kinds of claims as to what it means. Jim Jones took a bunch of people down to the jungles of Guyana with a brand of radicalism that left hundreds of people dead and dying in those jungles. Sun Myung Moon gathered people on street corners, starved them to death, and forced them to sell roses and poppies and one thing and another to support the radicalism of their pursuit. And all the time Jesus said, "You got it wrong. If anyone will come after me, that person must deny themselves, take up the cross and follow me." So folks, watch this as I introduce this subject to you today. The radical demand of the gospel began back in the beginning with Abraham. We're going to discover that. We're going to take a hard look at his life of faith. And we're going to determine for ourselves what radical Christianity is and what it is not. And I'm going to have the audacity to stand up here and I'm going to tell you, according to the scriptures, what radical Christianity is not, just as much as we are going to try to determine from God Himself what radical Christianity is. In Abraham's life, this radical relationship with a radical God produced a radical consequence, too radically wonderful to contemplate. So if everybody would give to Don Wilton your attention for 30 seconds, I want to tell you something as your pastor. I say this with all the love in my heart. I want to look into your face as you look into mine. I want to say to you, my friend, until you decide that you mean business with God, you're never going to get it. Some of you are playing on the edge with God. You are taking a little dab of Him here and a little dab of Him there. You rock up at church and you rock out of church. And it's not okay. It's not okay. Some of you parents, you're bringing up your sons and your daughters, but you haven't made up your mind who you are. And your kids are watching you. They're so confused about what it means to be a Christian because they're watching you. You claim, you make statements. You've attached all kinds of forms of legalism and theological dispositions onto your Christianity. And that's not what Jesus is saying. You cotton on to little things. You think because you sing hymns that you're radical. You think because you sing choruses, you're radical. You think because you dress in a certain way or you don't. That's not what Jesus was talking about. You think because you tip God every now and again that He's going to bless you. Folks, this God of Abraham, we are going to discover, is an all-powerful, all-loving, all-consuming God. I tell you, when the Lord gets a hold of your life, He will let you out of a box. He will liberate your soul. He'll set you free. Please, my friend, would you listen? Listen to what God has to say to you. Become a surrendered person when you stand up and say, I am a Christian lady. Are you really? You are? I'm a Christian man. Well, what does that mean? Folks, in America today, we are smitten with our comfortability. We're smitten with our materialism. We're smitten with the things that we have. We've got it so good. Even with all the struggles. Goodness me, do we have struggles.